24, Gary Turner.
Okay, so I swept the show. So I won the Open Heavyweights, the Open Overall, the Masters 35 plus, and then the Masters Overall. That was the first time that I had won an Open Overall ever in my life. So that was a huge speed bump. Coming into that show, it was a little bit of a challenge to get myself in the gym and to be motivated, and every workout was a struggle because, it was the final season, and that all kind of changed winning that. That really revitalized and revamped my motivation and mindset in the last, it's been 9 days since the show. I've really smoked it in the gym. And that's a direct result of me feeling good coming off and feeling what it feels like to be the top dog at a show. Now, I've won open classes before, heavyweights, super heavyweight classes before, but I was never the dude at the show. The overall is when you pose down with all the other class winners and then decide the overall winner, the top dog, the best bodybuilder out of any weight class that has entered that show. And I've never been that. There's always been somebody else at the show that's been just a bit better than me. And one of the best feelings that I could really highlight from the weekend was they gave you giant cup trophies. For the class was like this, and then the overall was like a big one. So I had 2 of each because I won 2 overalls and 2 class wins. And coming back from the backstage, and every competitor that was still going was like in the hallway, and I had a handful of trophies. I couldn't even grab them. I was worried about dropping it. And everyone was like, not a bad day, not a bad day. And they're like, congratulating me. And that walk back to my family that was in the foyer was one of the best feelings that I've ever had. And of course, seeing my family, seeing my kid, my wife, everybody, and my parents, going, they were just so happy and relieved that, because they've been to just about every show and they've seen me get to that point before. And it's just was like, everybody's like, man, the motherfucker finally did it. I didn't just win. We won. We talked, in the last episode about the wrestling and everything like that. And as a 7 and 8 year old, he's an 8-year-old now. He's obsessed with medals and trophies, as all 8-year-olds are. When he goes to his tournaments, he wants the gold medal. If there's 4-foot trophies, he wants to do that tournament because you get a 4-foot trophy. We know as adults, the trophy doesn't matter. It's the accolades that go into it. It's the title that you get. That thing's gonna collect dust. But it was pretty cool that the size of those trophies, and then I got 4 of them, that he got to share that experience on how cool that was. When I gave him a hug, I told him that this is what happens when you don't give up and you stay disciplined. You're not gonna win everything, every time. And I explained, you see me lose. I've seen you lose in wrestling, but you just keep coming back. You keep showing up. Well, I'm not wrestling and he's not bodybuilding, but we're doing an individual sport and where dedication and discipline matters. I told him there was many days that I didn't feel like going to the gym. I starved through many meals, and these were sacrifices that I made, and there's gonna come a time where you're not gonna wanna go to wrestling practice, and you gotta go and you gotta just do it. As a father, I try to show as an example. I don't like the idea, and this is not a knock on other parents, it's just not how I do it, to just coach from the sideline. Do this, do that, make sure you do your exercises, run faster, run harder. And I'm sitting there on the sideline like a freaking loser, out of shape, and I'm screaming at this kid who's trying his best. No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lead the kid. I'm not gonna push him from behind, I'm gonna pull him from the front, meaning I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I'm gonna set an example for you. And that's how I do it. And I couldn't think of a better way to exemplify. We're now 3 weeks and change away from the universe, and that's where I'm going for the pro card in the Masters 35 heavyweight. Now, I still can't control who's coming to the show. However, I do believe that I'm the dude. I do believe that I will be in the first call out of the heavyweights. I do believe I'll be moved to the center of the heavyweights. And I do believe that eventually they'll call my number. And that's the confidence that I've had it in local competitions. I've also placed 5th at the USA, 10th at the USA, and 7th at the North Americans. But to tell you the truth, I knew I was treading water in those competitions. That was the open class. And I knew there was just some freakazoid 24-year-olds, or multiple of them, that were just ready to unleash hell on me. And they did. I did decent, I looked great, but those type of shows, I didn't have the confidence and the poise and the wherewithal to go for it. So my chances going into this show with my coach, with what just happened, I do feel that it's gonna go well. That was a huge win, but as Kobe Bryant once said, the great Kobe Bryant, job not finished. And we gotta finish it in 3.5 weeks at the University of Pro Card.